Hello everyone, I'm David and I would like to introduce you to Cultistorm, a new board game and cultural project from Purple Meeple Games. Cultistorm is a story-driven cooperative game. In this Lovecraftian adventure, you and your fellow investigators are trying to stop cultists from summoning the Great Old Ones. Your aim in this game is to fight evil cults and close all 5 dimension gates. If your team collects the necessary knowledge and trophies to disrupt these rituals, then you win the game. Every round in the game consists of 6 phases. The cultist phase, the refreshing phase, the terror phase, the investigator preparation phase, the combat phase, and the phase in which we close all gates. Let's take a look at each phase one by one. First, the cultist phase. As this is a Lovecraftian game, obviously the cultists move first. This is where new cultists appear on the board. First, you move the cultist marker forward 1 location for each player currently in the game. It will summon an extra cultist on each location it passes through. In the end of this phase, you just have to roll the cultist die and hope for a blank. Once you see what threats have arrived, you can make a choice. You can keep cards or discard them, and then you can draw up to 4 cards and roll with the investigator dice. And now the terror phase. If you did your job right, now you hopefully have everything to fight the evil cults. In this phase, the terror marker leaps forward 1 location and leaves a terror crystal. If a card is filled up with these crystals, you flip it and suffer the consequences. When the marker makes a full circle, you can activate a location. We will talk a bit more about that during the investigator preparation phase. The main part of the game happens now, but before we take a look at all the various actions that a player can take, we should look at the main goal. What exactly are we preparing for? Of course, you're preparing for a good old fight scene, and the combat rules are really simple. Every cultist is protected by 3 to 5 occult symbols, which you will have to break during the combat phase. You can use the symbols from your cards, your chosen investigator die, your items, your own special abilities, and the support cards given to you by your fellow teammates. The enemy's strength is determined by what's on the card, the face of the cultist die, and by its location. If you can overcome all the symbols, you have defeated your enemy and gained the reward that comes with it. Now we know what we want, let's see how to get there. There are many different kind of actions that you can choose from during the investigator's preparation phase. You can move around, trade with your investigators, search for an item, use the actions of the activated locations, or you can support your fellow investigators. Don't forget, cooperation is key to success. You can use an investigator card in 2 different ways. You can either use the occult symbols on it during the combat phase, or you can use its special ability to support another player now. Most of the time these actions are helpful, but they always come with a price. If you help someone, you get an insanity token, but you can draw a card, so you will have more options. Sometimes you have to take one for the team. And finally, you can level up your character. If you do so, you can get a unique character ability, and you learn how to close one of the 5 dimension gates. In the combat phase, we go around clockwise and check whether all fights were victorious. If you kill a cultist, you get its trophy. If not, you get more insane. The fighting's done, the dust settles, now you can try and close 1 or more dimension gates. If you have the necessary knowledge and the required amount of trophies, you can seal a dimension gate. After you close all 5 gates, you win the game. But if even one of the gates remain open, Then a new round begins with the next cultist phase. And now let's talk about the Great Old Ones. When they arrive, they bring utter chaos and destruction with them. In the cultist phase, they slowly devour their summoners beneath them, getting more powerful in the process. Now you have to make a choice. Do you let the Great Old One get more powerful and save yourself some time? Or do you kill the cultist beneath him and face him right away? Think it through, because if you let him through the gate, you immediately lose the game. The choice is yours. This is a true Lovecraftian adventure. There are many ways to lose this game, but there's only one way to win it. If any investigator goes insane, if a Great Old One reaches a location and the investigators can't defeat it, or if there are too many cultists on the board, you lose. Cultistorm has been in development for years, and as I mentioned, it's not just a board game, but a cultural project as well. The game comes with a lot of additional content, including a script book containing 400 events that further enriches the game. There will also be an art book, an anthology of short stories, a soundtrack made by Graham Plowman, and some more goodies with tentacles. For further information about the game, please check the official site or the Kickstarter page.